This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Both of these cameras are in competition with each other when it comes to vlogging. I do have a preference on which one I prefer when it comes to documenting my day-to-day life, but we'll get into that at the end of this video. First, we're going to compare the two cameras. So let's get into this All right, anyways, so let's talk about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 specs. It's an upgraded 1-inch sensor. It shoots in 4K 60, takes 20 megapixel stills. So what makes this camera so special is that it sits on a 3-axis gimbal, and I fucking love it. They say the battery life is rated up to 140 minutes. I call bullshit. And it has this really cool touchscreen that's built in to the device. As far as the iPhone 16 Pro Max goes, it shoots in 4K up to 120 frames per second. What's also cool about the 16 Pro compared to other models is that the wide angle lens is the same as the 1X lens, which is the 48 megapixel camera. And I found that it makes a slight difference. It's not way better than the other models, but I notice it when I'm shooting. Also has cinematic mode, which I would never recommend. And it has this action mode that I think kind of sucks. It also comes with the ability to shoot log.
So what the fuck is a log color profile?
A log color profile is a picture profile that has increased dynamic range. It also gives you a lot more flexibility in the color grading room. Now that we got done with all that shit, listen, I think both of these cameras are great cameras. I think they're both really convenient and easy to use. And on top of that, they're so small that carrying them around makes it way easier for me to vlog with these cameras than to vlog with something like this. That being said, there are some pros that I like about the iPhone. There are some pros that I like about the Osmo Pocket. There are things I don't like about the Osmo Pocket, and there are things I don't like about the iPhone. But that's the world of cameras. There's no perfect camera. So let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what I love about the iPhone. The first thing I love about the iPhone is the wide-angle lens. But there is just something about the wide-angle lens on the iPhone that I love so much. It just feels really wide, and I know it's distorted a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of bit. I don't know, but it has this look, it has a crispy look to it that I really like. I use my phone a lot when I'm shooting interior videos, and it just makes it so much easier because the iPhone does all this processing, so the dynamic range is insane. Shooting in HDR mode makes real estate look way better than it does even with an A7 IV or a Sony ZV-E1, depending on the lighting in the room. Another thing that I like about the iPhone is that it's always with me. That's just the thing iPhones have going for them, that the phone's usually always with you. All right, we just crossed that river with our bare feet. Oh my God. So taking it on a trip or taking it anywhere isn't really a thing you even have to think about. It's just there and it looks nice and it works, period. Those are two things I love about the iPhone. Some things I don't like about the iPhone is that if I want to use the best cameras the phone has to offer, I have to point the cameras that way. So if I go like this, it's really hard to see myself. Like I can't see myself until the shot is over. Basically, you can't see yourself. It sucks. I want to see myself, man. Especially when you're vlogging, you want to see like how you're framing the shot and stuff. The front camera is not as nearly as good, and I try my best never to use it. It is what it is. Another thing I don't like about the iPhone is that it's not stabilized, and I do have a DJI OSMO 6 and I use that sometimes to stabilize the footage, but then again, that makes the rig like this big, and I might as well just use my ZV-E1 at that point. I'll get better footage. This bad boy, can you guys already tell which one I like more? This is sitting on a 3-axis gimbal. The screen is just sick, and it's like so small, but at least I know like how I'm framing myself. And I love that it's stabilized, especially as somebody who does video work for a living and does photos. It's really cool to me that this thing just stays smooth. And the footage isn't, oh my God, but it's really good. And it's so cool that you have an opportunity to shoot log on this. And I was doing a test outside and I was walking with both of them, and I noticed that my hand got tired when I was holding my iPhone like this for a long time. But with this, it didn't. And I think like this one just weighs, the iPhone weighs more. This is such a light setup, and I have the tripod on it. I don't know. I'm just a way bigger fan of this camera. The thing that the iPhone does have over this, again, is I do prefer the wider look on the iPhone. For some reason, maybe it's just because I'm used to it, and that the iPhone is already always with me. Even though as small as this is, it's still something that I have to bring with me throughout my day. But I do want to say I fucking love this thing. And I think it was a really good purchase. I do have a ZVE1 with a really nice wide angle lens. I have an A7 IV. I have good equipment. It's not like, you know, this is the best camera I have. But the reason I bought this was just because of the stabilization. Is like when I am on a trip, or especially when I'm going on a hike, I don't need to bring a ZVE1. I remember I was just in Iceland and I was climbing up this mountain and I was like taking this thing and I was so scared it was going to break. I was going to fall. I was going to slip. And I could put it in my bag, but then I got to take it out of my bag every time I want a photo. I don't know. It's not a nuisance, but it is a nuisance. You feel me? But with this DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I just feel like it can slide right into my pocket. I don't have to worry about it. It's just there. I pull it out, flip the screen, and I'm good to go. So another thing I like about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 over the iPhone is this Active Track 5.0. Look, I can twirl around. Come on. That's not sweet? That's sweet. I know you think it's sweet. It just turns the simplest shots of me talking into something a little bit more interesting. And I remember the other day I was standing in my kitchen talking to the camera and the camera was just following me around. And I was like, man, that's so cool. It adds a little bit of sauce to your boring ass vlog shots. And trust me, I know how boring vlog shots can be because I take them all the time. Wrapping up now, would I recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or the iPhone 16 Pro Max for vlogging? I'm going to go ahead and go with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I just think it's cooler, it's stabilized, it has the active track, and that's basically it. Peace.